Wait. Dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down.
Spencer, what you got doing? You know that them old bookie shop, man. Them bookie shop, man. You know them man there, yeah, we just a place of bet, brethren. We just a place of bet. Yeah. You know they got the thing in their ear, innit?
About the bookie slip.
Yeah. Them man, they're still dreaming. They're still dreaming, believing we're coming to get out the ends.
Bro, the bookie shop to them man there is like stock exchange.
You know that, innit? The one is that one in the ear with the thing with the pen in the ear. Oh my goodness. How you doing, Spence? We're back again.
I'm blessed, man.
We're feeding the public in this lockdown time, and it's good to see you, my man.
Yeah, it's blessed to see you. It was a big show yesterday. And I was tired, I ain't gonna lie. That drained me out. Plus, it's like I've been juicing for the last 2 days. So,
that little trick diet.
Yeah, you know
the juice.
So I mean, big up Bobby Wright. Come on, Dan. You know the score. So where I've been juicing, I mean, it's like on a cleanse. I'm feeling it, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, because you know when you detox from Haagen-Dazs and apple crumble is a serious thing.
Bro, actually, listen, let me tell you this now, yeah. I'm an apple crumble man. Yeah, I mean, trust me, I'm an apple crumble man. But over Christmas, there's a restaurant down the road, down on the ends of Portland Road, called Blue Jays, bro. They do the wickedest rum cake. That's me, bro. I must have put on extra 2 stone over Christmas, bro.
You know, but we can all be forgiven right now because, listen, the time we're living in now, it's by any means necessary just to get us through. You know, and you know, listen, there's a couple people be putting on weight, and they can be forgiven because it is a tough time, and it's one of the reasons why we're going on above and over to put content out there just so that people can just keep their sanity. It's a tough time. It's a tough time, man. Lady Shan says Spence love the toffee apples them.
Hey, lady, you know what? Sainsbury's were telling them, bruv. Sainsbury's were selling toffee apples.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, I was going Sainsbury's, especially after they done that advert and people tried to ban it. I shop there even more now, right?
Yeah.
You ever bite the toffee apples and get stuck on the roof of your mouth?
Yeah. From Funfair days.
Yeah, you know that. But when we was young, you can bite through them. Now you getting older, you got to take time with those things, bro.
Your teeth fall out. Big up BH. He said above and beyond. That's the word. That's the arrangement of words I was looking for. So big up BH. And that's what I'm saying. They see our people, our fans there. They help us out. Man slipping and sliding. They just help us about. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. We're going above and beyond to help the people through this tough time we're living in. Peace and love, boxing, Rob Boxing Fools says Sir Weezy in the house. Yes, sir. Come on. But Spence, moving on to the show. I mean, the poster has top fights you want to see in 2021. Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, or for some, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Terence Crawford v. Errol Spence. Errol Spence v. Terence Crawford. And then we have the 3 lightweights. But actually, there should be 4. And I've got a lot of people hollering me saying, "Bob, where's Teofimo?" And I don't think that was intentional. I think it's just a thing like, spacing of the poster. But obviously, we cannot forget Teofimo Lopez in that mix. So we have Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney. And all those fights, are ones we're going to speak about, or the potential matchups. And there's many more. You know, I see my man got Baturbiv against Bivol. But there's so much fights. You know, there's Dylan White against Deontay Wilder. That's a fight I want to see. I want to see Dylan. And I was talking to Dylan today, actually, because Dylan was giving me a joke about an issue that we're not even going to get into.
He said to me as well, come, you must have talked to you first, then he hollered at me.
Yeah, yeah.
Bossy else, and I'm watching them.
Yeah, he was rushing my man. But, you know, listen, it is what it is. We're not going to give that no air right now, unless someone on Super Chats wants to pay for that. Kind of talk. But we're not giving no one free advertisements. But there's so many fights that we're going to touch on. And really, we got to start. We have to start with the heavyweights because, you know, everyone knows heavyweights. Some people don't even understand about boxing, but when you look at heavyweights, they know. And the main fight in everyone's mind is the super fight, and that is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Or let me just say for the Tyson Fury fans, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. And just, you know, if you look at it from our standpoint in terms of the UK, you know, heavyweight boxing, once you got, I mean, I think I was talking to, what's that guy's name? The one who Chris Shields' brother dumping What's his name?
Mr. Bashir.
Mr. Bashir said to me, man, you guys at the moment, yeah, bro, who punched him in his mouth? I asked a question, but I didn't want to be rude, did it?
Like, it was Chris Shields' brother.
Punch the bro, how can you punch it? That's disrespect.
Yeah, I know, but their man grow different. You know what I mean?
That's disrespect on the highest level. But anyway, he said to me,
but he took the shots to it, though.
And he took the shot. Well, he's been around some great fighters, and he gave me some great advice. You know, and as a younger man to him, I took that advice seriously. But what he was saying, he said, "Man, you right now, you in the UK, you control boxing. You know, and that's the truth. All the belts are here, and that's deep. So you know, I don't, you know, as you were saying yesterday in the trainer discussion, you got to remember, it's all right bigging up all these US trainers and everything, but you know, boxing is in the UK and it's flourishing in the UK. So I'll be interested. I mean, we can go interactive from the gate today.
Yeah.
On these topics because I want to hear, I want to get the feedback from the people and how they view these fights and what strengths and weaknesses, if any, from both guys. But let's start with I'm gonna let you pick who to start with.
You start with the heavyweight, so it's cool. We can stay right there.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Let's go. In your opinion, now before you say who you think will win, talk about the fight and what this fight means to boxing, and how you view both fighters. So let's start with Tyson Fury.
What about him?
Tell us about the man.
I'm just being real. The guys are done, right? Let me tell you this, and I keep on saying to people, the man lost Terence Crawford in bodyweight to get down to fight. Just think about that. Terence Crawford, who clapped out Kell Brook the other day, he lost him in bodyweight, Tunde. That's ridiculous. Right?
That shows a lot. That shows a lot.
It shows a lot. It shows a hell of a lot. Not only the fact of that, look right throughout his career. The guy knows boxing. And not only does he know boxing inside the ring, but historically he's very on point.
Okay.
And there lies the difference for me, like with Tyson Fury being separated from every other heavyweight.
That he knows the history?
He knows the history. Right? And it's different when you've been immersed in the sport from a very young age. You know what? It can either go, you can go two ways, because you can either just have enough, like you're fed up of it. And I think there was a time, his autobiography is very, very good book, right? Where you've been in it for so long that you just don't care. Or there's times where you're in it, Lady Shan's talking foolishness, right? Lady Shan, broke up Tunde. I'll tell you what, oh, shut up Tunde. Tunde's very short.
I'll give you a body shot in your own body.
Tunde's very short. With grey hairs come wisdom, old man.
Straight parry, left hook to the head. Shot to the body. You're done. Dance done.
Parry what? When I thought we do they call the paramedics. You know why? With Tunde it's quite easy. All you got to do is cover up for 2 rounds. He's going to throw. Yeah,
bro, you're too skinny. I'll punch the corrugator rice out your belly.
Tunde, you won't be able to get past my jab.
Sorry.
Lady Shan's causing trouble, you know.
Lady Shan's on the stick causing trouble. Come on. Anyway, sorry. We've diverted. Go again, Spence.
Yeah. I mean, but fun and games aside, it is, I would say, when you're dealing with someone like Tyson Fury, who's a complex character within itself, you're also dealing with lineage, and you can't escape that. You cannot escape that. You cannot escape when a man says, like, I'm the king of the gypsies. You can't escape that, you know. Trust me, right? So
what does that mean? You got to break that down. What does that mean to me? Because Tyson weren't king of no gypsies, and he broke up, man.
Who?
Mike Tyson weren't no king of no gypsies.
Yeah. But I'm saying, Mike Tyson in his head, he was king of the roads. The roads, like where you're from.
What's the matter with you? Why can't you just keep this thing
from the roads, fam? Right? You're broke up, man, for their whole journalistic career. But anyway.
Come on. Okay, so
what I'm saying is, when you're looking at Tyson Fury, you're looking at somebody who's got knowledge of fighting and knowledge of history, and the knowledge of history is encompassed when he fights. You know what I mean? There's times where he's fighting and he reminisces, he thinks that he's Ali. There's times that he's fighting, he could be reminiscing and think like, all right, then I'm gonna try bang with guys now, like he's Mike Tyson for his namesake. These are the things that I'm telling you, it's important. And I rate Tyson Fury. People don't want to. I remember when majority of people used to think that Tyson Fury was rubbish. Majority of people, especially when he went to America, thought Steve Cunningham and got knocked down when he got floored, then got up and stopped him. But he did the forearm smash where he held him with a forearm and then clap him with the right and then knock him out. People thinking that Tyson Fury was a fraud. But then I revert back to, I remember years ago speaking to Mick Hennessy, and he said that Tyson Fury sparred with HANEY'S.
Okay.
Right? And he beat up HANEY'S. And as soon as he saw that, he said, he started rubbing his hands and said, right, I got to sign you up straight. Wow. So I'm saying the guy knows boxing and the guy can fight. And that's
let's talk about Tyson, based on what we've got here. Tyson Luke Fury, born 12th of August 1988, is obviously a British professional boxer. He is a 2-time heavyweight world champion, having held the WBC, the Ring Magazine, and the lineal titles, Super IBF, WBO, IBO, the Ring and lineal titles after defeating Wladimir Klitschko in 2015. With his defeat of Wilder, Fury became the 3rd heavyweight after Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali to hold the Ring Magazine title twice, and the 1st heavyweight in history to have held the WBA Super, WBC, IBF, WBO, and the Ring Magazine titles. I didn't know that, Spence. I didn't know that.
Well, the other man to have done that, but not have the Ring Magazine. No. What? I'm trying to think. Riddick Bowe. I'm sure Riddick Bowe had the Ring Magazine title as well. I'm sure Riddick Bowe, when he was undisputed champion, Riddick Bowe was Ring Magazine champion as well.
Well, it says the Ring Magazine title twice, and the first heavyweight
twice. Yes.
Yeah, twice.
Because I know Riddick Bowe, if you look back at Riddick Bowe, when he beat Evander Holyfield, what was that? November of 1992, when he beat Evander Holyfield, he was undisputed champion. And he had the belts, but then a month later, he absconded the WBC belt where he threw it away. But he was the first man. Then Riddick Bowe was the first man to have held all of the Alphabet Boys titles, because he won the IBF, WBC, and WBA crowns and Ring Magazine crown when he defeated Evander Holyfield.
The knowledge.
Yeah, he threw away the WBC belt, which then Lennox Lewis picked up after knocking out Razor Ruddock. What was that? April 31st, 1992. At Errol's Court, right? Where he does him in 2 rounds. And then Lennox Lewis was given the vacant crown. Big up Lady Shan. I love you.
Big up Lady Shan. Right? $2.99.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And
much appreciated.
Yeah. I can barbershop tomorrow. Right? Then, lockdown don't exist for me. Right. So when he beats Herbie Hyde, for the WBO title. So theoretically, now it's Tyson Fury as well, but Riddick Bowe was the first heavyweight to have held all of the belts. So we have to props Riddick Bowe. A lot of people like to forget about Riddick. Can't forget about the guy. He was a fantastic inside fighter. But back to Tyson Fury, his accomplishments are it's amazing. What he's come back from, you got to think, after he beat Klitschko, how he was ridiculed, right? And on the rules, I could see why he wanted to end his life. Imagine this though. You've just beat Wladimir Klitschko for the World Heavyweight Championship, right? And the ring lineal belt. And you come back to a country with hardly no applause. Right? So I could see where like somebody like Tyson Fury now could have been bitter towards the UK. So how he's turned it around and reversed the whole thing, and now he's in dead, it's incredible. You got to give me props for that one.
What do you think? What do you think about him rejecting the Sports Personality of the Year award?
Listen. When he became heavyweight champion of the world, he was ridiculed, and then remember Oliver Holt wrote that that story about it where he set him up, and he set him up, and then they were calling to ban Tyson Fury from the Sports Personality. Remember, they had that lobby. You can't, right? And then he said, "To hell with it anyway. I don't need to go." Right? So I get it where he's saying like, "No, I don't want to go because I don't need your acclaim. I'm the People's Champ. I'm the Gypsy King, so I'm good." So yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. We can't forget the big man, AJ, Anthony, Oluwafemi, because nothing I don't know. I remember Dylan was saying, "Fam, your name's Femi." This is why I want to see Dylan. I need to see Dylan in the mix. I don't care. I need to see talking about fights that we want to see. Dylan White against Tyson Fury is a big boy fight.
It is a big boy fight.
And I want the people online to tell me if they agree with me. Because I personally think that I feel that White Fury is a better matchup than you see, big up Sammy Ali talking that talk. I just feel in terms of it, but don't get me wrong, AJ is gonna bring a lot of excitement to this matchup. And I hear what you're saying about boxing history and all of that. Well, AJ's created a lot of history himself. As I say, Anthony Oluwafemi Olaseni Joshua, born 15th of October 1989, a professional boxer who is a two-time, let's get that right, 2 times unified heavyweight champion, having held the WBA, Super, IBF, WBO, and IBO titles since December 2019, and previously between 2016 and June 2019. At a regional level, he's held the British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles from 2015 to 16.
So 1 second, Vass Blackwood's just on the phone. You know, Vass, he played Rory.
Come on, Vass. Original.
What are you talking about? So look, we're doing a live right now. What's up, Vass?
Oh, yo, listen, that's funny you should say that. Listen, what, it's Tunde?
Yeah, I'm doing it with Tunde right now.
Come on, Vass. Hold tight, Vass.
Tunde, listen, my Rastafari blessings.
Come on, all day.
That was something like that Jamaican rubbish here, son.
Rastafari blessings and love, you know what's up, mate? Wait, listen, how are you?
I'm good, mate. We're just doing the best fights. Oh, sorry for the people who don't know. We got acclaimed award-winning actor Vass Blackwood, famed for playing Rory Breaker in the Lock Stock movie. Yeah, I mean the Guy Ritchie movie. Right, I mean.
Yeah. Also, Lennox Gilby in Only Fools and Horses, the damn elusive Shadow.
Yep.
That was the one. Only Fools and Horses.
Tunde's from Peckham, and you're dark skin like him, so Tunde used to say you and him was brothers.
We are brothers, and Tunde is right. And I know back in the day they took the black and white telly, and he had a lot of brothers.
Vass, why you on the line? The Fight Is Right crew. Why you on the line, Vass? Hold on. Why you on the Vass?
Huh?
Yeah, I said, why you on the line? The Fight Is Right crew and those of us watching would want to know what would be your pick for fight of the 2021? What fight do you really want to see in 2021?
Okay, I would go for. There are a few, but I would go for. I'm really liking the Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight.
Come on.
Yeah. I'm feeling that fight. I'd like to see Charlo and Canelo go, because I tell you what, just for the PR and the press, because Canelo don't say much and Charlo says too much.
Yeah. Bit like me and Spencer.
No, it's all good. But that makes for a great fight, because Canelo, as I said, he's what it's all about. He don't say too much, man, but he can have a fight. And I think, obviously, when we go to the heavyweights, no. I want to see Carl Frampton. I love Carl, a good man, Carl, and I want to see him go in the trenches again, because I think that's due, Carl, to go in the trenches again for Carl. Josh Taylor as well. I fancy Josh Taylor to have a good fight with someone who can match up with him. And then obviously, you've got guys like this whole thing with Devin Haney and Themo and all them guys there, man. They've got that's a class fighter, Shakur Stevens, Stevens and all of that. But and there's the Japanese fighter as well. What's his name? The one who's in the same weight? Is he in the same weight division, that Japanese, or is he the weight below?
Oh, Inuyuki or whatever his name is. Iniu or whatever his name is.
Louis.
Yeah. And I think who's is it? Bob Arum got him, or Bob Arum with him?
Yeah, Bob Arum. Yeah, I think he's a top rank fighter, definitely.
Yeah, he's with top rank, so I want to win it, because he's got some good movement. That boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I just say, while I have been overly impressed with your acting skills over the years, I am even more impressed with your boxing knowledge.
No, he's on for a long time.
No, I love
he loves boxing.
I was going to add as well now with the heavyweight division, right? I want to see the Ukrainian fella there, Usyk. I want to see him fight Joe Joyce. Listen, let me tell you something. I got to pick up Joe Joyce, because Joe Joyce, not only did he step up to the plate, but what Joe Joyce did, he exhibited the noble art. And I don't think there's no disrespect towards Daniel Dubois either with that at all, because Daniel can still watch that fight and see the noble art, because the jab was like a ramrod, and I do really believe. And also, some people were laughing about him the other day about him fighting Usyk, and say because he says he wants to take Usyk, and some, you know, we've got to love the comments, because comments in social media tend to, it's like manure stirring. We use the word manure because it's a safer word to use on air, right? But you know, that stirring, because it tends to get things going, like the way Mike Tyson Mike Tyson is a true G. He's got it off now with Gervonta and Garcia. And as much as they might not like it, Tyson, that's what we fans want to see. But anyway, getting back to Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce, right? He said, you know, obviously wants to fight Usyk. And people are laughing in the comments saying you're too slow, you're too this, you're too. Well, they said a lot of things about him before he fought Daniel.
Yeah.
But I personally think he would beat Usyk. Because
that's a big shout.
Huh?
That's a big shout. It's a big shout.
Yeah, it probably is. And you know what? Now you said that, I'm thinking a little bit about it. Yeah, it's a bit of a big shout. Because obviously they can both rise to the occasion, the fighters. But I just feel like, for instance, I think about the Chisora fight and Usyk. I think that Joe's got a little bit more. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm saying it's a big shout, but I actually believe Joe Joyce will beat him as well.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because I was speaking to Sam Jones just yesterday.
Yes.
And that's one of the fights that they're looking at to be made.
Yes.
So yeah, and I mean, that's one of the fights that could be made, and it could be for an interim world title. Because
sorry, Spence, I was going to say that the things you think they would want to take that fight, right? Because they believe, you know, obviously they believe. Listen, he will get up for the fight, definitely get up for the fight. But whereas with Derek Delboy, I wanted Del to win that. Del my pal, I wanted Del to win that. But then people were talking, explaining good boxing, like yourself, were talking about how crafty and how clever this Usyk is. And I did see it when he fought Derek, but I think Joe Joyce, right? He's got. Listen, he knows the go well. He's a big,
yes.
Yeah, he's a very, and you know what? He's a very unassuming gentleman. He's got a lot of knowledge, boxing knowledge, and he proved it.
Good fire. He's a good
experience. And, you know, and I think a lot of people overlook that going into the contest. That Joe Joyce was obviously an Olympic silver medalist. Really, some people thought he should have got the gold. He was jogged out of the gold medal.
Yeah.
And
I listened to what a lot of the likes of yourselves, the sort of like connoisseurs in the fight game and fighters and what were saying about Joe, and I wasn't quite taking it in. And it's only, and I've even gone back now and listened to some of the interviews before that fight and what people were saying about Joe, and then it starts to get more and more apparent as the process of the fight. What you always love, and then you saw the weigh-in and everything. And I don't know if I saw Daniel flinch a bit of the weigh-in, but whatever. But I said, listen, it's no great loss towards him in a sense. He hasn't lost anything, right? I mean, and all that rubbish about, you know, the towel and listen, I've got to say it as well. You know, as much as I know Chris Eubanks from way back in the day, the Nigel fights and Ambrose Mendy and all that. I know Chris Baron, and I've never met his son, right? But I really do think that, you know, I mean, I don't know if he has apologised to Daniel, but he should, because there's no need for all of that business about, like, you know, talking about people quit. Because I don't think no boxer quits, no professional fighter. How another boxer can call another boxer fight just to get more comments, more likes, people to react to what he's saying. I don't think you should ever do that. And I felt a little bit, let down by Chris saying that, because he's an educated kid. I'll give him that. I know he's an educated kid and everything, but he should, you know, at this point in his career, especially losing the way he did to Billy Joe Saunders and losing the way he did to George Groves.
Come on.
And I could see in George Groves' face in the walk. You watch that ring walk, he was going to go and do him, and he did it.
Come on. Yeah. Listen, Vas, listen, your knowledge, I mean, we could literally listen to you all day long, but it's been an absolute honor and a pleasure. And oh yeah, bro, man didn't even know that you and Richard Blackwood are related.
He's my cousin.
Come on. So what is this thing running in the family then? This little comedy thing runs in the family. You're not really, I don't know what to call you. You're a comedian one day, you're a serious guy, you're a gangster the next day. But
before I go, right, I've got to tell you all something. I've got some things coming, right? I've got some, because I write as well, produce stuff, and I've kind of turned a new leaf in my life, right? This type of thing, and apparently I was told that where the money is creating, and I've always been into creating stuff, and I think I'm on the verge, right, of them, the big people, like kind of biting onto something that I've got to give them, not just to employ myself, but really to create something so that the likes of yourself, all your fans out there, and generally speaking, people can sit down and watch something and say, yeah, man, I can relate to that. That's not bad. So, pray for me, and hopefully, I know you will, and I'll pray for you as well.
Bless up.
Way forward as well. Blessings from Almighty Rastafari.
Rastafari. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Of the line, you got to give us the line about the milk. Come on, son.
Yeah. All right then. Okay then, and there we go. If the milk turns out to be sour, I'm not the type of pussy to drink it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have the one, the only, Mr. Vass Blackwood.
Yeah, Vass. God bless, brother. Love you. All right, man.
Great job, Spencer. Great job, Tunde. Love and peace to you and all of you. And remember, everybody out there, wear your mask and stay safe. God bless you.
Come on, love that. Love that. Thank you, Vass. There you go, Spence. The black book does it again.
Man just phoned me there. They must saw the Facebook. The Facebook, the Twitter. It's all good. It's all love.
All right, let's get back onto this. Fights we want to see on 2021. AJ Fury is definitely one. The next one we're gonna look at Crawford versus Errol Spence. How do you see that going, Spence?
Not how I see it going. I just want the fight to happen.
Okay.
Because it has been, it's been back and forth. Crawford saying like, okay, then I'll fight you, but I'm the A side. Errol Spence saying, no, you're not. I'm the A side. They're arguing about percentages and one's with Top Rank, one's with PBC. Al Heyman has never done any form of business ever in the history of Heymandon. Has never done any business with Bob Arum. So it's like that's going to be a very, very difficult fight to happen unless the peace could be brought up. If it's the real peace that could be brought up, and it would have to be someone would have to act as an intermediary to make that happen, right? So you know who I'm thinking of. So it's like, otherwise it's going to be a very difficult fight to make. But the fight should happen, and the fight should happen now. We got two undefeated fighters, two guys who one is potentially the pound for pound number one, right?
Yeah.
And so they're both two top 5 pound for pound fighters. So therefore, the fight could happen. It would be sacrilege if that fight did not happen this. Yeah, maybe we have to blow his nose.
Sorry.
Right? So I'm saying like a fight like that really does need to happen. When you're hearing Errol Spence talk about, you know what, I want to fight Canelo. So when you're talking like that, I'm saying, why would you say you want to go fight Canelo? Canelo's not down to 160. It's now Canelo's relinquished his WBA world title, so Chris Eubank Jr. is in the number 1 spot to challenge for that. So recently we just heard that Chris Eubank Jr. is now signed with the Sauerlands.
Yeah, right? What's that all about?
Well, the thing is this: he signed with Al Heyman. He fought 1 fight. Yeah. Yeah.
2, didn't he? Did it 2? I think 2 fights.
Oh, sorry, 2 fights. He had 1 fight in America. Right.
Yeah.
Right. The James DeGale was ITV pay-per-view. I don't think that sold particularly well, but that's a very, very difficult thing to try and get into, to sell that fight at that time. Because remember, it's the first time you're ever doing anything.
Yes.
So I don't think that done particularly well. ITV were not that interested. Big up Signature. Thank you very much.
Come on.
How about miss? You ain't missed much. You can after the show's done, you can just rewind onto it. Right?
Big up Signature. Hold tight. Thank you very much.
So I'm
Sir.
saying, so
Use
you
your mic.
right, I'm gonna get the fights with Al. Chris Eubank Sr. went out there, sat down with Al Heyman, and thought, yeah, right, we're in there. As we know, like our old mate Richard Poxon, very close to Al Heyman,
Yes.
right? But Al's got a lot of fighters, and there's a pandemic going on, so it's more his mindset is like when Eubank had his chance to really shine. No disrespect to him, in the second way, he shone in the when he beat James DeGale, but also James DeGale was an old man. No disrespect. I don't think you would have done that to a peak James DeGale. Right? I'm just real. But he still amazed me because I still had James DeGale to win that fight. So it is what it is. But now they're feeling a little bit despondent with Al Heyman because they're not fighting. So
well, I think with Al, one thing with Al, you got to be patient.
You have to be patient.
Because
when
you get that fight, you're gonna get paid the most money ever. So it's a situation where you're gonna have to give up activity for the payday. Yeah. And as Boxing Rob Fort says, Eubanks is 31 now, no more next gen talk. He needs to mix it with the top tier worldwide and staying busy. And I think maybe that's what has contributed him to signing with Sauderland. You know, to stay busy until. But I mean, is it good for his? I mean, who am I to tell him that his career is not good or not good? But from what I can see from the outside, all this back and forth, this promoter, that promoter, not tying yourself to one promoter, is it really doing Chris any good?
Well, it isn't, and I'm just going to be real with you. But what I do know is like the Sauderlands were getting fights; they were getting that work.
But what kind of fight?
Well, I think they could get him in for the vacant WBA title, world title, and then that would give him a position to be in proper bargaining power. That's what I believe. And I think that's what he's sitting down waiting to try and do.
Okay. Well, let's move on to some suggestions about and if there are some suggestions about heavyweights, you know, put them up. I want Gary to get them up on the screen and we talk. But yeah, let's look at the
the topic. Gary just put it up. Crawford Spence.
You just dealt with that.
Yeah, I know, but because it's up there. Go on.
Yeah. Well, you spoke about Crawford, and for me, Errol Spence has to be the A side in that fight.
Why?
He has to be because he's a champ. He's a unified champ. Never beaten a better competition, and he's coming through with all the marbles. I mean, yes, Crawford is unified at 140, and champion at 140. Oh no, is he champion at 147? No, he's not. He ain't got
He's champion. He's the WBO champion.
Of course. But I would say again, in terms of resume, the big fights, Spence is definitely ahead there. And based on that, maybe it should be 60-40. It definitely shouldn't be 50-50.
No, I think it should be 50-50 and 10% goes to the winner. That's the only way.
That's bookie shot too. That's bookie shot too. You know it don't work like that, Spence. It don't work like that. Spence is the man, and he's the man. You know, he's the man. The numbers as well. I'm not trying to say that Crawford doesn't do good numbers, but
he didn't do very good numbers in his last pay-per-view show, right?
There you go.
Pay-per-view numbers for American. Right?
Yes,
they were dismal. In fact, Bob Aaron was saying like the money that I've wasted on Terence Crawford, I could buy a Beverly Hills mansion to route it. That's what he said.
So, you know, the age we live in, you could be a good fighter, but you also have to sell. You know, you have to be marketable, and hence why Ryan Garcia is really the big man right now. You know, and everything he touches socially is just loads of money. But yeah, there's so many. I can see so many points coming up on the screen. I want to really touch on them. So let's just start. Let's start going through these, Gal, because I've heard some good suggestions. Wolfstock said, "You lads are reenacting the convos between Heyman and Aaron right now. This is why the fight can't be made." Yeah, because bro, you're saying Crawford. I'm saying nah. Spence is the man, and he is. So, but it has to be made. I tell you something. Do you think if Spence went over to Al Heyman,
You mean Crawford went over to Al Heyman?
If Crawford went over to Al Heyman, do you think that that would definitely sign, seal, and deliver the fight?
Of course it would.
I've got something to lose. It doesn't necessarily. I mean, I guess if Heyman could guarantee the fight if he signs with him, then. But I can't see Crawford leaving Arum like that. But then again, if Arum isn't getting him the fight that he wants, then it definitely could happen. Steve Bailey says, "I think Crawford wins by decision. Would be a close fight though. Difficult to see Spence cashing Crawford flush during a fight. Well, if Gamboa caught him flush, if that other brother that I don't even know dropped Crawford, remember they said it wasn't a drop.
Yeah, the mean machine.
Yeah, but he got dropped. And let me think. I'm trying to think of other fights. Crawford's got kind of touched up. Errol Spence is definitely going to touch you up because Errol Spence.
Lundy fight, he got touched up in that fight. Hank Lundy when he was defending.
Hank Lundy fight. Yeah, that fight was a good fight as well. Although he finished Lundy in a vicious way, but
viciously.
Yeah, but Errol Spence is bringing pressure 24/7, and it's behind a jab and serious body work. Errol doesn't throw his jab like a bam. It's just more of a pour, clap.
Yeah.
And so
I like how Errol Spence goes down to the body when he throws the right hooks downstairs.
Yes, yes.
He takes your chips, mate.
JT said Crawford too big for. No, sir. No, sir. You mean Spence is too big for Crawford?
Yeah, all right, come flip it to my guy. What's that? Yeah, Devil Beats. Thank you very much for your £10 contribution towards the show. Odd even that must be good evening. Good evening. All right, done.
You wanna read that, Spence?
Yeah, your favorite ring entrance tune, and how important is it to a fighter's mindset? Bless.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wicked song. Wicked question. You want to go deal with that first one?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all remember. Chris Eubanks. When Chris Eubanks used to come in the dance hall, when you hear "Simply the Best," you know what time it is. When David Hay used to walk to the ring, and what's David's tune again? Come on, Spence, man. David Hay's tune. How can it slip me? When it starts playing, it's an old school tune. Ain't no stop. And it definitely has an effect on fighters' mindsets because, it is, as I keep repeating or reiterating, it's a mental game. And sometimes it gets the fighters in a zone. I know Prince Nazim Hamid, when he used to play, Prince was smart. He used to play the tunes where everyone was rocking to at that moment.
Yeah, to draw the energy.
And absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. Playing the right ring entrance music. And I even go down to the prospects, the new kids on the block. They, when you turn pro, that is a big thing, Spence. When kids turn pro, they're like, I want my music.
Yep.
And
listen, when I turned pro, and my first pro fight, I remember you have to give them times Ernie Draper. You have to give he was a whip for Frank Warren. You give him your cassette. You have to write on the side. What side? So side B, first song in, and you play the tune. And to hear your song being played, because that's something that you have complete control over.
Yes.
That's your thing. That's what you're gonna draw the energy from. So the music is a big thing. You know what I mean? Music is a big thing, especially because of the frequencies that are being released. And it also makes a fighter feel like he's arrived. Because when you turn pro and you get to play your own tune to your own walkout music, that's when you believe in your head, your hearts of hearts, that you have arrived. And you get the vibes, you get the jingles, and music is important. Very, Very important.
I saw Azad R. He said, get it up, Gal, if you can see that. Azad R. To read it out, Spence.
I said, Tunde, did you come out to an Islamic call of prayer?
Yes, sir. Spence was there, Elephant and Castle.
Elephant Castle, I was there for real.
The X-Men. So just to answer that question there. And yeah, again, you know, certain things motivate you. And that was a great time in my career. Signature, who chooses the music in between the rounds? That's a good question.
You know what? They usually have a house DJ, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I remember the first guy over in this country, Eddie Hearn used Spoonie, and that was it was a Darren Barker fight for the European title. I believe that was July 2011.
Good,
right?
Mike. I remember that.
Yeah, and and they used Spoonie, and it was a big thing because Spoonie's gonna be playing the music, and I like Spoonie a lot, but just Spoonie spinning tunes, he couldn't really put his signature on it because he's just spinning tunes, and it's in between rounds, so you don't get like the mixes or nothing. But yeah, Spoonie was the first man in the UK. I remember like in between rounds playing the tunes. It was Spoonie.
Okay, Victor Peters Jr. says, I want to see T-Bud beat the shit out of Errol Spence. And I love to also see if Ryan Garcia can really swim with the Sharks, my boy Tank and Haney. Well, I mean, I'll answer that. We can't overlook what Ryan Garcia just did to Luke Campbell.
No one can.
You can't. So when you're talking about swimming with the Sharks, you got to remember, Luke Campbell pushed Lemachenko.
Proper.
Lemachenko never done to Luke Campbell what Ryan Garcia did. And you got to remember, Garcia come from off the floor. So, and the question has to be asked, I know you're calling Haney a big shark, but has Haney beaten someone of the caliber of Luke Campbell?
You're saying that? You're saying that? His Pedraza win was a very good win, you know.
Who I never said Tank.
Who? As who?
I said Haney.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
As Haney.
Oh, he hasn't. No disrespect. Haney hasn't fought no one remotely close to him. And that's the truth.
Remotely. And I think we're at a situation now where the pressure has actually turned. Before these guys fought Santa Cruz, Tank fought Santa Cruz, and Garcia fought Campbell, Haney was still kind of riding off of the promotion bandwagon.
Yep.
But now he's really got it all to fight for. Because we want to see Haney in with some real top caliber. So then really the question should be, you want to see Haney in with the Sharks, Tank, and Garcia.
Yo, Mickey Bay. Right.
Hold on, Spencer. Let me introduce to you
1 second, Mickey.
The trainer, my guy in Las Vegas, the trainer of Devin, the real Devin Haney, the one and only Mr. Mickey Bay, former, I think it was the IBF champion.
IBF lightweight champion.
Lightweight champion. Mickey, good to have you on the show. How you doing, sir?
What's up? What's going on?
Yeah, Mickey, I want to know. It's like we did something recently, calling out all of the top fighters. Gary, put that up. Mickey Bay, man, put that up on the
Mickey Bay, trainer of
former lightweight trainer Devin Haney, right? I'm saying when we look at why would you say Devin's the best lightweight in the world, and how would Devin do against the guys like Ryan Garcia, Tank, Teofimo Lopez? Why do you believe that your fight will beat him?
Well, I think
even though sparring is different, you know, we work with a lot of them a lot, and you know, we just had their number every time. But I just think Devin is more well-rounded than the other fighters. You know, all those fighters are good, but Devin can do it all. Like he can box, he can get you out of there. You know, if he wants to. You know, a lot of people. You know, I know his punching power because I work with him. So, but he can fight on the inside, outside. You know, he can hit, not get hit. I would sum it up to his IQ. You know, his IQ and his ability to adapt. I don't think none of them would be able to keep up with that.
Okay.
Well, one thing I would say, Mickey, I know Devin, and I was saying on the show the other day that even as a little kid, as a 12, 13-year-old, Devin had different kind of punch power. I don't believe so far, I don't believe that that's really been shown. But what the question I want to ask you is, do you feel, I mean, Gervonta has now knocked out Santa Cruz. Garcia has now knocked out Luke Campbell. Do you feel that Devin needs that breakout fight to be up there? Because in those last two fights, I mean, I think if you took a poll, they would have Tank and Garcia above Haney. So what next for Devin? Where do you see him in this whole grand scheme of things, and what kind of fight are we looking for next to put his name back up there to number one?
Well, I'm gonna say this about Ryan: there's no way the way he got dropped that you could put that like, yeah, he finished Luke, but if Devin would have got dropped like that, I don't care how he would have ended the fight, it would have been. I mean, you would have been hearing about that way more than knockout. Like,
that's true. That's true.
Imagine if Tank would have done that to Ryan, would he have got up and finished?
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Tank would have finished him. Devin would have finished him, and Teofimo. So even though I do think Ryan got skills, I think he's lagging miles behind all of those top lightweights. I don't think that he's standing a chance with not only Devin but Tank or Teofimo.
So I mean, if that fight was offered to you, Luke Campbell against Devin, would you take that fight? And is that fight you would be interested in? Because that would be, a good way to judge the two of them.
That's too easy, man. Because now people gonna say, "Oh, he was finished," and I would like honestly, we want Teofimo, and this is real talk. We ain't pretending. Devin won Teofimo out of all of them. He would fight any of them, but he wouldn't fight bad with Teofimo. That's really who we want. Like, we want to get him like Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns did it early. They didn't have to wait till they was 30 years old, to get a unification. They both in their early 20s. Everybody wanted to see it.
Yeah, man. September 1981.
Come on, the knowledge.
What'd you say?
That was September 1981. That fight.
Oh yeah, exactly. So man, I think that. But if we can't get that, then I think let me see. You got guys out there like Fortuna and
yes, that's a good fight.
I think he kind of high up in the rankings. I think he's a lot harder than Luke. I think he's at this point. And you even got guys like Robert Easter. I'm not sure if Robert moved up in weight. Broner's probably out the question since he getting ready to fight. That would have been a good fight.
So you mean? Listen. I know you personally, Mickey. I've been in the gym with you, and I would never doubt your knowledge in this sport. You're telling me that Devin is ready for them fights right now?
Oh, 100%. See, this is the thing, and I'm honest. I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm not saying he'd knock all of them out, but I know he'd beat them for sure. Okay. I bet anything Devin would get his hands raised by he would get his hands. Think about it. Why you don't hear them calling Devin out? Ever.
That's true. Well, the way I see it is that you got four young guys, We need to see these fights. We don't want to see no ducking or dodging. You've made it quite clear that Devin is not the one that's ducking. So, I look forward to these fights, and yeah, it's very, very interesting to me. But because I know you, I've got to take your word for it. If you're telling me you believe Devin is ready for these fights, I personally, I'm just being real with you, as I always am, Mickey. I think with
Lady Shan, put Lady Shan's thing up, right?
Yeah, I feel that this is me, Mickey. I feel obviously you're in the gym with Devin every day. Nobody knows Devin and is around Devin more than you. But for my eye, I'm saying that Devin is such a prospect that I feel that if you give him another 12 months, easy, because Devin's only going to get better.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fact that, I think if you put him in those fights now, does that really damage him later on down the road? But if you're so sure, if in your opinion he can beat them, then I guess I've got to take your word for it. I look forward to this whole thing. Lady Shan done them season says, I'm bored of the talk. Lopez has called out Haney even religiously, even last night. What do you say about that, Mickey? Lopez says he sent the contracts to Devin. And they've asked for the fight.
Listen, go on. What do you say? Say that again, Mickey.
Wait, you said they sent your contract to Devin Wynn.
Yeah, that's what he said on his live last night. Tiafimo.
So is that true?
Man, that sounds good for the fans. You can't even that sounds good, but you can't even come up with a contract. What did he do? Make it in his living room?
Yeah, come on, Mickey. Mickey, we're experiencing this. We know when it's just for the cameras. We know people are saying that contracts are being sent, and we know they're not being sent. So, but we do want to see this fight, or we want to see so many fights. Devin against what's your take on Devin against Gervonta Davis?
Oh, my take on that is that's a huge fight. But I agree with what you said. Devin is young, so all of the fights don't have to be rushed. But
yes,
one of those fights, this year, I think he'd beat Tank. I think he'd beat Tank. Pretty much. I think he'd outbox him. I'm not sure if it'll be a late stoppage or unanimous decision, but he definitely outboxed Tank. But that's a huge fight, though. Tank, not taking it away from Tank, because he's, the real deal. But I don't see him landing those shots on Devin Haney. A lot of those heavy shots that he lands, I don't see it landing on Devin.
Hey, Mickey, one thing I wanted to ask you. Devin and Bill were both there was on some show and they were speaking about the spar that they had with Tank, and that Tank didn't want that work. Can you clarify that for me, please?
Yeah, I was there. I ain't even gonna lie, I was there too that time. So I was there to see what happened, man. A lot of people, they didn't want to believe me, and I was just arguing with one of my guys not too long ago about that. But yeah, Tank got out on Devin, a lot of years ago when he was young. But the last time they sparred, everybody was there. Mayweather, everybody. Broner brought Tank in, and Devin got out on him. Everybody was there. Everybody saw it. I saw it. Devin did get the better of him.
Excellent.
He got the better of him, hands down.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Mickey, big up yourself. A plum pleasing pleasure for you jumping on the Fighters Right and just answering the call, because we're talking about Devin. So I said, let me just phone Mickey. And you see my phone, man, they answer. So big up yourself, Mickey Babe, former IBF lightweight champion and trainer of Devin Haney. Take care. God bless, brother.
Okay, thanks. I'll talk to y'all again soon.
Yes, sir. Big up, Mickey. There you go. The Black Book has done it again. Bro, it's not even a joke. There is nobody in boxing that can test this show. Nobody. No TV station, nothing. This is TV anyway. This is Stamina for Soul TV. And Spence, you done it again. I'm taking no credit, although I want to. I'm taking no credit for that black book that you got in there. It's too powerful. It's too powerful. So while some are talking about it, we're getting these guys on the show, talking live and direct.
Yeah.
And yeah, my man saying with your 170 views, but bro, if some guys have got 1,000 views, they still can't get these guys on their platform. So we ain't watching that. And let me tell you something. You're blocked. Block him, Gary. Block him.
Wait, what are you looking for? Now we've got 146.
Yeah. Cheeky Ross. Anyway, don't watch that. We're not even watching that. All we know, we're getting them.
1 week we've been doing this for. I don't hear no.
Exactly. And we're getting the stars. But listen, blocked. He's blocked. Trust me. We're not playing. We're not taking none of that nonsense. Anyway, let's carry on. Fights we want to see in 2021. Come on, I want to see some fights, some suggestions. The fight I do want to see, though, Spence, is Gervonta Davis versus Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, and so do I. That's a fight that I want to see. That is a fight that I desperately want to see because I know they will be very, very complimentary of each other.
The styles, innit? The styles gel.
It would gel big. And not only that, but whereas they're both very young men, but they're more mature. They're mature for being young. And that is a fight that I want to see because they'll be looking to clap out, man. That's what I'm asking.
Your gut instinct, who do you believe will win that fight?
My gut instinct, I slightly favor Teofimo.
Yeah.
No, I slightly favor Teofimo.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm going with the strength and power of Gervonta.
Okay.
But you say it like this guy beat Lomachenko.
Yeah.
That's not a joke, you know, Spence.
Yeah. You don't need to tell me that. You're talking to me, you know.
That is not a joke. The guy beat Lomachenko. And he broke him up the early part of the fight as well. You know, so that's a good one. Bobby Wright wants to see Conor Benn against Josh Kelly. Absolutely do I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight. We're going to touch on that, but I saw Signature made another contribution.
We love Signature. Signature, you got to tell us what you do, brother.
Yeah. Tell us about you could even be a woman. Well, you know, Signature's not there. You got man, woman, we don't know. Signature, how detailed are the contracts and clauses in contracts? Splits, ring walks, changing rooms. What else do people stumble on? That is such a good question, Signature. I'll let you answer that first, Spence.
Right. Very, very detailed. Depends who you're dealing with. It depends or the higher you are up as a professional fighter and the smarter you are. Just like as soon as you start climbing, you know, there's the famous adage is the higher the monkey climbs is the more his bottom's exposed. So therefore, you're gonna have to have somebody there to safeguard you to so your bottom isn't exposed. So it's paramount that you have a good lawyer. It's paramount that certain times you get sports lawyers who ain't got a clue about boxing, but then you are very lucky you can get certain. Right, you get some lawyers, they're just lawyers, and you're teaching them, but you're saying, well, shouldn't this be here? Should be a day? And they're just namming your money. So but what I would say is like it is because down to when that's what it is, when you're the A side, like you could call most of the shots. Now we heard yesterday when Joe Gallagher came on, they had 34 days to prepare to fight Canelo.
But Canelo had 4 months.
4 months.
You knew about the fight 4 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. So because he's the A side. And the thing about it is this, whereas Canelo knows that he's the golden ticket, he can call out anybody. What, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? People, you're going to run to it. So professional fighters have to be, even at fights at that magnitude, and you're thinking, well, how big it is. So Canelo is kind of cherry picking right now, but because he don't give you no time to prepare. Now the difference is this, Floyd Mayweather, for all what people want to say about him, he give him time to prepare.
That's true.
You know, if you got the Floyd fight, you know you got 2 months to prepare for a fight. You know, he's not just pull it out of nowhere and say, "Yeah, I'll fight you in such and such a time." So yeah, these it's very important.
Great.
Like simple things. When Andy Joshua went out to America to fight Andrew Ruiz, yeah? When he went, was that 2019? When he went out the first fight, not down to contracts or anything, but knowing that the boards in America is totally different. When you're fighting in New York, as you reach inside the stadium, the only thing you can drink is water. And Tunde's got stamina to sell water, so that's the water you should be drinking, right? But that's what happens when you get in there. Certain things were like, I think Andy Joshua would have things that he does religiously prior to a fight, like he'll eat something and that. No, sir. When you get into the stadium, that's it for you. Nothing more. So obviously, and they're big units. So think about you've got into the place, I don't know, 3 hours before you're meant to go and fight, and you usually have certain foods or whatever not prepared, or you like to drink a black coffee like what Tunde does or blah, whatever. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Water and water alone. So it's like on certain things, not only is it paramount in a clause of a contract, but it's also to understand the legislations that are if you happen to box in other countries and the rules and regulations that go on. But yeah, all of it is very important. I'll tell you another story before we, right? When Chris Eubank Senior boxed Nigel Benn November of 1990, right? At the MEM, right? Not the MEM, it was the Birmingham NEC. My apologies, right? When he turns up to go out for his ring walk, the Simply the Best, Ambrose Mendy, the then manager of Nigel Benn, made sure that Eubank's music wasn't played, just to mess up his psyche. So all of these kind of things, I'm telling you, and they were just going out and it was live to, at that time, 17 million people on ITV, and Barry said, come on, let's do the walk, let's just do the walk anyway. So Eubank in his head was visualizing hearing his song of Simply the Best anyway, when he walked out. So anyway, but yeah, those things are very, very important. Now Tunde can tell you his part of this thing.
No, you've done it. I mean, it's psychological. I remember Lennox Lewis saying he would always want to walk to the ring second to make a boy wait for him. You understand? When he's coming to the ring. Because, I mean, what fight was it? There was a recent fight where the champion had to go to the ring first. The champion had to go to the ring first because even though he's a champion, he's not the ace. I think it was even Smith against Canelo.
Smith, Rocky Fielding versus Canelo as well.
Yeah. So all those things are in the contract. You know, all those things are. Sorry, did I put that? Dash that away, man. That's some joke thing. Yeah. But Conor Benn against Josh Kelly, I would love to see that fight from Bobby Wright. I would love to see that fight because I think the time's now. Conor's ready. Josh Kelly, he still has a lot to prove to me. I see him doing 10 left hooks and some Billy, man. You ain't doing that with Conor Benn. You can do them back. You can do that against, Z-class fighters. I'd like to see you try that with Conor Benn. You ain't doing that with Conor Benn. So again, I feel Conor Benn and Josh Kelly will be a good fight, a great fight for the public. I'm not too sure if Eddie wants to make that fight right now because I think Eddie still looks at Conor as still young, and in terms of marketing wise,
Conor's last performance, Conor Benn proved to me that he is now ready to step up to fight Josh Kelly.
Yes.
Because the thing about it is this, if you gas up enough, right, it'll get into your psyche that, right, I'm not ready for this guy. He is ready for this. Because I know boxing. I sat down and watched his last fight. He boxed very, very good in that fight. Yes. And I would make that fight now. Remember, he went to America and he got a draw against some Billy man out there, right?
Yeah.
Billy man beat him. I'm just keeping it 100, right?
Yes.
So don't get twisted. I like Josh Kelly a lot. He's a really, really nice kid. But I'm saying, like, when you gas up man so much that they believe the gas, and then when things ain't working, they stop believing the gas. With Conor Benn, he has come from a privileged household. His dad ain't shy of a penny, right? But yet he's saying that I want to do it. And there may lie the difference if those two were to go and fight. Because here is a man that wants to do it.
Nas A says Lopez versus Loma 2. Do you guys think Loma deserves a rematch for what he has accomplished? No. Because the disrespect they showed Teofimo before the fight about not even putting a rematch clause in the contract. They were so sure they was going to beat Teofimo that they slipped up. They slipped up, and I think now Lopez should do what he is doing, which is saying, well, if you want that, you need to pay me $5 million.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. He upset the apple cart, him and his father, and they should be paid. You there paying all these other guys all these big money. Pay me, because I see before that fight, Teofimo was in some little standard car, and he was saying, I saw a standard whip. You understand? Him and his girl, him and his wife, and he said like, all you fighters playing like you're rich, but you're not rich. You understand? And he's just keeping it real. So yeah, I don't think Loma deserves a rematch, and if he does, they got to pay heavily for that rematch, and I mean heavily. I saw some British fight mashup. I saw Shakur Stevenson before the British. Shakur Stevenson against Loma.
That'd be a wicked fight. That's the fight that I would like to see. Simply because when people say, well, Lomachenko isn't a lightweight, well, it's cool. There's a kid down at super featherweight waiting for you, right?
Yes.
And that's Shakur Stevenson, right? That's the fight that I would love that fight. You know what I mean? Prolific one saying the same thing, Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight that I would like to see.
Yes.
And I rate Shakur as a very, very good fighter. And that's the fight that, I would like to see that fight.
Do you think he's got the pop on his shots to really give these guys?
I think he punches hard enough, but he's not a devastating puncher, but he punches hard enough. And I think right now, especially after the last performance of Lomachenko, and Tunde was telling me after Luke Campbell fight that Lomachenko is ready for the taking, right? I just thought he was going to be a little bit too early for Teofimo Lopez and getting in that fight. But Tunde was right. So therefore, why wouldn't it be right for this kid Shakur? Because there must be something special about the kid. That the fact that Jamel Herring, who is the WBO champion, allegedly is now going to fight Carl Frampton.
Yes.
In Ireland. That's the talk.
Okay. They must be paying him good for that.
Of course he is, but he's also with MTK as well. But yeah, of course they're going to be paying him good. So
Jamel's with MTK.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that fight be a good fight, but let's talk also about Jamel Herring moving up in weight. So to try and mix up with these other guys. So we see because Jamel Herring is not a little guy; he's quite big.
Yes, he is. He looks very big, very tall and lanky. JT says Loma will spank Stevenson based on no, sir. But Jay, that's why you need to go back and watch some of the old Fighters Ranks when we had Shakur on the show, live, face everything in his car. And one thing I respect about Shakur, he's not a disrespectful kid. He's almost got that childlike smile when you ask him about sparring sessions and work that he's done with fighters. He just comes with that grin, like, bro, I broke him up. You understand? I broke him up, and he spoke about him sparring with Loma, and where Loma, he said Loma is he's ruthless in sparring. Loma will be bracking up people, but then it was supposed to be a one-time spar, but then they kept on calling back Shakur because he couldn't get over Shakur. So I don't really think you can say about ring IQ because Shakur, in my opinion, is one of the most skilled, but it would be a great fight. I don't think he would. Listen, if he couldn't do that to Teofimo, I don't think he could do that to Shakur.
Yeah, Rab86 says, "What do you guys make of Mike Tyson versus Holyfield fight talk.
No way.
They should allow it. Like to see Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. That would be on the same promotion. That would be a good fight. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. That I mean, listen, it's nonsense. But we don't want to see Mike Tyson against Evander Holyfield for them to be hugging up each other in the ring and collecting.
Wait. No, they wouldn't be. Did you watch Mike Tyson Roy Jones? I know you never watched it.
I see Roy Jones just hugging him.
Yeah. But Tyson was.
Mike wanted to break him up. Mike wanted to break him up.
And I'm telling you this now, it's not in Evander Holyfield's nature to be hugging up nobody. Even at 75 years old. It's not his nature.
That's true. No, you might be right there. There might be some.
Evander Holyfield doesn't hug his missus. He ain't hugging no one, bro.
And Evander might be still burning from our man bite off his ear. He might be trying to get some revenge on that.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? I'm not that interested in seeing it. But what I am saying is this: I'd rather that these guys go into something that is supervising the mannerisms of which the last show was supervised. I thought Snoop Dogg doing a commentary was just hilarious.
Excellent.
And and it was. I mean, we're watching two old greats just swing. And
but Spence, I mean, we're saying this. You know, boxing is not a joke at any level. White collar. I've seen men in white collar get knocked out.
Yes, so have I.
Because when the shot leaves, you know, even if a ref is standing there to supervise, and I know for sure, if Mike licks Evander too hard, Evander's coming back. And then what you potentially have is a situation whereby somebody gets hurt. What is it? Is all this exhibition, Roy Jones against Glenn McCurry, going to be so exciting then? When somebody gets, are we waiting for somebody to get hurt?
No disrespect, yeah. I like Glenn. I mean, former colleague of mine as well. I like Glenn a lot, right? But Glenn's just talking fantasy. So first, Glenn was meant to fight Evander Holyfield. Then Glenn was meant to be saying, so Glenn's just sat in his house saying, oh yeah, like, because he needs something to go and do. You know what I mean? And the thing I would say to Glenn should go train some amateurs and give back. Former world champion, go and give back like that. There's no need for you to try and do anything else than you saying like, because even now, if you used to fight those guys would embarrass you.
But the thing is, again, I hear that, Spence. I hear that. But the reason why these guys, and a lot of people better understand this, you ain't making no money as no trainer. You ain't making no money as guiding, you know, anyone, you know, from bottom to top. Unless you're right in there.
Yeah, but listen, Glenn's name not big enough to draw any numbers. And
exactly. So that's why he's not.
Unless he's got the illusion of grandeur, right?
Yes.
So no, man, tell them man to just allow that thing. It's not a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the serious fights.
Yeah.
I can never say this. Inui versus Neri. But I'm not adverse on these little no eating weights. Spence.
Good fight. Inui just won the.
It's a good fight, definitely.
Won the Super Series. Had that. He had that really, really good fight. He had a couple good fights right there, you know. Because Inui's a little thumper, man, you know.
But there ain't nobody don't know about them kind of. I'm just being real. Canelo.
Dimitri Andrade. Let me tell you this. Sorry, I'm going to say Andrade. Sorry, my apologies. Canelo versus Dimitri Andrade. Listen, Dimitri Andrade, for all his talents and everything else, he don't bring nothing else. He don't bring no it factor. He don't bring nothing.
You look like a Latin. I see him dressed in some Latin clothes. So I remember Billy Joe Saunders brush him. Billy, and that's what I like about Billy, you know. Billy's like, bro, what are you wearing? What kind of clothes you wearing up here? Some Joker clothes. And I see him try to wear some ripped jeans the other day. I'm saying, but you better get your cancer straight. But who knows? It could be the bogeyman that people are talking like they want to fight. I mean,
he ain't no bogeyman, too.
How would you see Billy Joe versus Andre going? Forget about Canelo, because Canelo would just walk through him.
Right. That'd be a good fight.
Okay.
That would be a good fight. Both southpaws, that would be a good fight. But, as I'm saying, it'd be a good fight. Andrade hasn't impressed me in any of his victories. Something.
He hasn't impressed me so much so I haven't even watched him.
Okay. So something doesn't, and this is not me dissing, I like the brother, but something don't sit right. And also, I remember, like, I can't remember the promotional company he was with. He was some promotional company, and then he left that company and went to Matchroom. But the way him and his brother were just begging and, oh, thank you, Eddie Hearn. Oh, thank you. I said, look at
No, they call him Eddie Hearn.
Yeah,
they call him Hearn.
Little Django's. I can't take them brothers, bro. I'm just too random. I don't this.
Lady Shan Nandem says Charlo against Billy Joe Saunders. Oh my goodness.
Big boy fight.
Billy would have to be on his toes because them brothers are coming out swinging.
Yeah, on his toes, man. 1
But
million.
no, I really feel that Billy needs these fights now because it's getting kind of a joke now. Like Billy, in my opinion, as I said, Billy is one of my all-time best British fighters at the moment. You know, definitely undefeated. You know, he's got that gypsy luck, and but it's like domestically, Billy's done everything now. He needs these breakout fights to really prove what he is, and anything less than a Charlo or Andrade or a Canelo, and like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Prolific says Charlo knocks out Billy Joe Saunders, but that would be something. Because Billy Joe Saunders, as far as I know, he ain't never touched no floor. Has Billy ever been knocked down?
Not what I know of, no.
He got wobbled. He got wobbled in the stadium fight. I was there. I was holding. I couldn't remember. Michelle Gervonta was next to me actually, and I was like, "Hey, you know, I get all frantic when I was like, wow." But Billy, once that happened, Billy was just on his toes and just boxed his ears off. So
it's a good one. Robert Glasgow says, "I'm watching the show, class, Regondo versus Inui." Because people seemingly forgot about that guy. They forgot about him, bro. It's like he's dead.
One loss. One loss. That man dead to us. Bro, you see this boxing thing. The man had one loss, you know, and everyone just forgotten about him. They just forgotten about him. It's serious. But that will be a good fight. I mean, they're both gold medalists. Lomachenko and
no, Inui.
Oh, Inui and Regondo, yeah. But maybe they're looking at as
Regondo lost to Lomachenko, but he had to move up 2 weights to get that fight. It was ridiculous.
Yes. So that was a good fight.
Yeah, but I'm saying Regondo is still an excellent fighter, and Regondo, yeah, that would be even Inui. But you know what? Unfortunately, because Regondo is so blinking good, and he fights well within himself. That it'd be hard to sell that fight, but it is a very good fight. Chisora versus that's a big boy fight.
That's an excellent fight.
That's a big boy.
Stylistically, Derek has to watch out for his hand speed though, because Andy Ruiz has got mad hand speed.
Yeah, he has. And
he's got mad hand speed. And I don't know if Derek can really wear him down, because he's with Eddie Reynoso now. So we're not looking at fitness as being a problem. And Derek, he tends to wear people down when he fights. But I still think it'll be a good fight just because of, their attributes and the way they size up and the way they match up. That's a great fight. This show is lit. A lot better stay on for another hour. I'll have to super chat. Okay, big up, Shan. Thank you very much. So I saw Steve Bailey talking about a young kid who I was quite impressed with how he dealt with before that Steve Bailey. The other fight, but that's a good fight as well. Chisora against Wardley. And obviously
it is, but I think it's a little bit too early for Wardley. Yeah. That was a very good fight, man. I like the kid.
Yeah, it might be a bit too early. But he impressed in his last fight against the little Ghanaian man. That looked like he just come for the ring walk. The ring walk was better than the whole fight.
Listen, that Ghanaian man with his big muscles, so Yeah, that man bare pounds of yam, and none of it never digested.
The way that he dropped, I thought, wow, I was kind of like surprised by the knockout, to be honest with you, because it didn't really. It was a good shot, but it didn't really look like, it would have that kind of devastation. So, maybe just hit him in the right place, the temple shot, and he went down. But big up Fabio. I think that's a good battle. This is the fight I was talking about, Spence. Um, um, I'm a Nigerian. I can't even pronounce that name probably. Udifia
Yeah.
against Felix Cash.
That's a good fight.
Good fight.
Very good
fight. Good fight. That we want to see that. That's middleweight. That's middleweight.
Cash is
so you got Denzel Bentley in there as well.
Yeah, Denzel Bentley. I spoke about Denzel Bentley already, but what I'm saying is, Udofia, he's the English champion now, isn't it?
Udofia, yeah, that's it.
And he's stopped Jay Pesta.
Yes.
Yeah, and Felix Cass is a very good fighter. Their styles will gel. Not only will it gel, but it's like it should be an easy fight to make because they're both with matchroom. Big up, ladies. Right. So I'm saying that fight will be an easy fight to make.
Lady Shad says, stay longer. Big up, Lady Shad. She's saying you have to stay on this thing longer. Well, we're not going nowhere yet, Lady Shad. Don't worry.
I like that one there, guy. Well, Chris Howe saying, big up Chris Howe as well for always tuning in. Craig Richards versus Callum Johnson or Boatsi. Good shout. I mean, you know what? I want Craig to make some big money, and if they can pay Craig the right money, because I will be advising Craig on that fight, and I will be advising him how much he's supposed to get for that fight. If those two fights are made, because we know Craig's family, and no one deserves a good payday like Craig, because Craig's he trains so hard, and he's an honest professional. So big up Craig. If they want that fight, they got to pay for that fight. Where's everybody from? Yeah, Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron. Never good fight. And I feel it for Chantel Cameron because she ain't got the exposure that she should be getting. She's a very good fighter, Yes. She's a very good fighter. But right now, you gotta say Richard Okoli. React versus Lawrence Okoli. Listen, that fight was muted for the vacant WBO title for last month. But Richard didn't have enough time to prepare. He said, but you give me 6 weeks, I'll smoke you. Right? But you know what? I'm just keeping it 100. I like Richard Riakporhe a lot. But what I saw Lawrence Okoli do to that man the other day. What I saw Okoli do to that man, I don't know where that man's from, Denmark. I don't know where they got that brother from. Bruv, he cut the guy, and I see the man he was knocked out for a long time. Yeah. The man shivered like he had some ghost run for him. You know what I mean? Like man just went juju on him with a juju punch. You cannot muck around with that Lawrence Okoli. I think Lawrence Okoli's been with the better opposition, and he's rising a little bit more. But Richard Riakporhe is somebody that you have to look out for. But I just wasn't they muted to fight as amateurs? Yeah, they was meant to fight as amateurs, but allegedly Lawrence Okoli's trainer didn't want that fight. Okay. I think they were scared by the little He-Man chest that Richard Riakporhe's got. Richard, he's about I see him in third space gym. He's going to some next place. He wants it. He's from the same ends. Live on the same road as, same area. My boys down Wolf Road. Listen, he's done very well. He's come back from a bad experience, and I mean, it's generally, it's how it is for us. But he's done very well for himself. Went to university, and he's the British champion. I think he's British. Did he give? He had to give up. He gave up the British title, yeah. Yeah, he gave up the British, but that is a great fight. Richard Riakporhe against Lawrence Okoli. Stephen Bailey says Fury against Babik. Yeah, the Babik is Dylan White's fighter. Babik does his little Viking, man. He just comes to fight, bro. Seriously, that is a good call. I like to see that fight. You know what I mean? I like to see that fight. You know what? In fact, I'm going to tweet that after because I would like to see Huey Fury versus Mavic.
Yes, and Huey Fury, it's mad because he's still very young, but it just seems like he's been here
For a long time.
a long time.
You know what I mean?
Lady Shab, what are you saying? Lady Shab saying, Tunde don't allow me to get moved up on lives. Allow it. Anyway, Joe Cordina versus any top super. Hold on. Somebody please explain to me why Joe Cordina is being left out. Please explain to me, Spence. Something's going on. Because I always see this guy. He's training, he's putting up posts, everybody's fighting, but it's like this guy ain't getting no fight. So I'm saying, hold on, is there a problem with his medicals or something like that? Anybody that knows Joe Cordina, please explain to me why he's not getting a look in. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, it is sad. It's sad. It's sad. You're a very good fighter. I rate him.
Golovkin against Benavidez. Now that is a fight. But Golovkin's too small for them boys there.
He is too small for them. And also, Golovkin's at the tail end of his career. And I think Golovkin just needs to get that big money payday fight. Hopefully could get the fight with Canelo for the rubber match and then take it for that. But I think he looked old in his last fight. You know what I mean? I remember watching it the other day on DAZN.
IFL TV in the building. Come on.
Are they?
Well, that's what it looks like, unless it's fake. But it looks real to me.
That is real. Tell them you're hard knocks for life. They know. Send something, Coogan. That's what you want to do. Send something.
Put up the money, man, because you're rich right now.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
I saw something. But yeah, Golovkin against Benavidez. Benavidez against Canelo is a fight, what they're talking about. And I remember Abel Sanchez recently saying that the only person he could see challenging and probably beating Canelo is a young man named David Benavidez. What do you think about that, Spence?
Who? Beating Canelo?
Benavidez against Canelo.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, no one ain't beating Canelo for now. I don't think so. Next question. I think Billy Joe Saunders could give him a run around, but I'd still favour Canelo to win that fight. And I've also got to say Charlo, because Charlo he's just tough. But now I still see Canelo. What style of fighting Canelo hasn't seen? He's been in there with punches. He's been in with guys. So he knows. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying anyway.
Big up Alms Knows Boxing. And he says KSI versus Jake Paul. Who you got, Tunde? KSI can fight. Well, KSI is a Niger boy. So you know I'm back in the Nigerian pepper stew, egusi, and pounded yam. And it'll break up Jake Paul.
Listen, I don't care who was to win that fight, to tell you the honest truth. You know what I mean? Because it's not real boxing. And I've said it. How about that one? KSI's taking his thing like it's KFC, bro. Right?
Yeah. But listen, he's paid to get his comment up there, so we got to address it.
No. I'm saying, but it's good. It's good for boxing because it gets eyeballs on the thing.
Exactly, and that's how I've always viewed it. We do know it's not serious, but you know, the fact is that these YouTuber guys have got massive followings, and if the boxing fraternity can grab even just 10% of those fans, it's better for boxing. So you know, you have the serious fights on the card, and then you have the YouTube fight. So whatever way is a good fight.
So you listen to us. Some guy just said get Coogan on the phone. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Coogan Cassius. I just phoned Coogan.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the one, the only, the man who started with a mobile phone, but now has the whole of boxing on lockdown. The one and only Coogan. I'm gonna call him Cassius. Clean. And what's happening, Coogs?
Hang on, I've got to turn the volume down on this because there's an echo. I could hear 2 Tundes, 8 Spencers. What the fuck?
Nah, just turn the volume off on your one. What you're watching?
I am. Just turned it up.
Is it still vibrating? Still echoing?
No, I've just turned it up. I can
All right, top
hear
man.
you on the phone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Coogan. So, Coogan, what fights would you like to see in 2021?
Well, I'm not going to buy everyone AJ Fury because I think that's the obvious thing. I want to see that.
Yep, go on.
I want to see Terence Crawford fight Errol Spence.
Yep, everyone wants to see it.
All these lightweights fight each other. I want to see Tank fight Haney, Haney fight Lopez. Just any of them mix, any of them lightweights just fight each other. Whoever you pick 2 out of any of them 4, I'll take it. All
right. And also, Coogan, how excited would you be to see? There's a good fight. Zolfa Barrett, this guy just put up versus Joe Cordina.
Yeah, like that.
It's a good fight.
Listen, there's loads of domestic fights. You know, I talked about it a little bit. I've just heard you talk about like the ones with Buatsi and that. Yeah, like Buatsi and Johnson. You know, even still Anthony with any of these light heavyweights, any of this, with loads of fights in that domestic scene we've not seen yet. So,
well, did you see that Sky did the fights for 2021 and they had Buatsi's picture with Yard's picture? So what does that say to you? That says to you that the commercial ability of Yard is head and shoulders over any light heavyweight in the country.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, Coogan can't comment on it because he needs to get interviews with these guys, but it's cool. That's the truth, though. It's the truth. It's the truth. I've got to big up Coogan. He was the one that gave me the name knowledge, so I want people to just realize that. But I'm saying, like, the fights right now, it's imperative that they happen because we're seeing them. It's like I'm saying, I believe that MTK Global could make Spence Crawford happen. I've said this many, many times before, and it's got nothing to do with my affiliation. I just know the things that they can do and the brokering that they can do. There's loads and loads of great fights that we're looking out for. But more than anything, Coogan, if you could only get 1 ticket for 1 fight, and it cannot be Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, what fight ticket would you want?
I'd have to go with Spence and Crawford. That's what I would go. I'd go Spence and Crawford.
And why would you go for that fight?
Because I'm split between who I genuinely am. They're definitely in the top 3 pound for pound for me. Canelo, Crawford. I don't know what position they are. I don't know who I put ahead of who at the moment between Crawford and Spence. So for that reason alone, I would want to see that fight finally happen this year.
Okay,
I don't think it will. But that's the fight I would pick, and that's the fight I'd want to see.
All right, so if I could get your top 5 of fights, this kid Arms knows boxing. He just donated £2, so big up yourself, to ask Coogan Cassius, the great Coogan Cassius, your top 5 fights of 2021 that you'd like to see.
Well, and I'm not allowed to pick Adrian Fury.
No, you can pick that. You can pick that. You can pick that.
But you know what? There's a load of other heavyweight fights that I'd put in this mix as well. Do you know what I mean?
Go on.
Like,
I know the way.
I'd like to see Dillian White fight Deontay Wilder.
That's what.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great fight, Coogan.
That fight will never get not interesting ever.
And the press conference would be excellent.
Correct.
The press conference, you'd get a lot. You would get a lot of film footage. You'd make a lot of money that weekend, bro.
Spence always putting us on blast, innit, Cook?
That's all right. Listen, got to pay the bills, isn't it? So
there you go.
Exactly. I mean, Cougar's got a cavi coming now, so he's definitely got to pay the bills.
All right, come on, Coog. So we got.
Cougar's got 5 weeks a day. He's gonna have a beautiful, young, healthy, magnificent child in 5 weeks. So we got to give Cougar congratulations, Cougar. I never thought you had it in you for years.
I didn't think I fucking had it in me. Don't worry about that.
For years, bro.
Come on. So you've named AJ Fury, Dylan White, Wilder. Let's give it three others, please.
I would have to put Fuaxi and Yard in that as well.
Come on.
There you go.
There you go.
Fuaxi and Yard, I'd love to see that fight. That's definitely amongst our fighters as well. That's definitely out there. And I know you're probably going to say whatever, but I don't know for this, but I still want to see Kell Brook and Amir Khan. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. That's four. And I said, actually, before the both of them fought Crawford, I said that for what they've given in to Britain, what they've done for British boxing, that should be their last fight. That was prior to the Crawford fight. I would have liked it. Spencer's doing that silly eye movement. But I think I would still want to see that fight. I think it's a fight too late. But yeah, as you say, I agree with you there, Cook. Khan against Brook. That's your number 4. So let's give us one more, Cook.
Right. Okay. I want to see Josh Kelly and Conor Benn.
Come on.
Conor Benn come through David Evanison, which is a very difficult fight. Let's have it right. It's a very, very difficult fight. But should he come through that fight, Conor Benn against Josh Kelly, I want to see in 2021.
Wicked.
Excellent. Cook, it's been an absolute pleasure having you with us. You know, you're a legend. I've spoken to people that are saying,
stop. Go on. Cook, you've got a question for you.
One question.
Go on.
I see you, right, going around giving everyone this fucking T-shirt, stamina for sale.
Yeah.
For like 10 years, and you've never ever even like shown me the color of one of these T-shirts.
Listen, I got all the colors for you. Text me a postal address. You got my word. I'm saying it live. I'm sending you all the colors. Just text me a postal address, Coop. You got my word, mate.
Oi, if you want to really get flash, you can send my little daughter, my pending daughter, a stamina for sale baby girl. How about that?
Yeah. I'm gonna get my man on the line. Yeah. Just Coop, just text me. I don't know what size you are. 1 minute you look like Mr. Club. Next minute you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. What size are you? I don't know what size you are, but whatever you are, Coop, you got my word. Listen, I remember you doing interviews with me on mobile phones and stuff, and I say it all the time. Really, I think people might get bored, but you know what you've done, what you represent for this. No one doing it before you. And as I say, sometimes they say familiarity breeds contempt, and that's probably why you ain't got a T-shirt yet. But I'm gonna sort that out for you, and I'm gonna sort out something for the baby that is due to arrive. And congratulations again, Coog.
Yeah, and Signature just put a $2.99 donation, and he says, "Congrats, Coogan, on the pending arrival." So we have to, yeah, I mean, so yeah. So yeah, Coogan, you have to send a donation, bro. Or we just come around your house. You taking this thing from, bro?
Yeah, you know we're from the roads.
Yeah, Tunde's from the roads, bro. And if you don't send a donation, Tunde will never give you an interview again in your journalistic history.
Don't rock me into anything that doesn't concern me.
All right, bro. You know how it goes. You know these little idiots. You're the real. Let me tell you this. I just want people to understand this, right? If Coogan does an interview and somebody was to call Tunde's name in the interview, Tunde would see the interview, but before he's even seen the interview, Coogan would have rang him, because I know why Coogan stays. Coogan would ring you and say, "Oh, blah blah blah. They made an interview about you. We got to put it up. We're gonna get numbers. Da, da, da. But what do you think of this? Do you want to do a counterpart?" That is
before, but again, right. Coogan's done that to me a few times, and
right.
We don't want to spoil this.
I'm not spoiling. I'm just saying. No, wait there, so I'm just talking about the professionalism of Coogan Cashes, and that's why. Wait there, and that's why Coogan's got his bus.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Other people are trying to get a bus, thinking that this is this. Right. I'm telling you, the only bus that they're gonna get is a bus head. All right then.
Ben, I'm telling you, see, Coog, this is where I'm a bit different. I don't give it no energy.
It's your business. I'm from the roads, bro.
Spencer's always fighting and arguing with people. Just leave them. Let them do what they're doing. It don't bother us. But anyway, Coog,
from the roads,
thank you. Coogan Cassius, thank you very much for.
Last thing I'll say, listen, I've known you both for a very, very long time. In fact, I've known you as long as we've been doing what we're doing.
maybe before. Tunde, I actually met you before. You won't remember, but I actually met you before. I was doing ISL in the Peacock one day. So all I'll say is, before I go and watch a film with my 8-month pregnant girlfriend,
Wow.
Both of you, got a lot of respect for both of you, and you've always given me time, etc. And we've never had crosswords ever because we've got no reason to. And respect you both.
Big up yourself, Coogan Cassius.
Big up Coogan. Proper guy. Big up Coog later.
You see the powers to that, because 4 man left the us and forward, bro.
Yes. Bobby Wright, the one and only again. Big Bobster. He says Terry, I think that's Harper, Natasha
Jonas rematch.
Yes, sir. We want to see that.
Terry Harper and Natasha Jonas had an incredible fight last year, which was a draw.
Yeah.
We had Joe Gallagher on yesterday, and Joe Gallagher was saying anybody watch that fight knows that Natasha Jonas won the fight. And I gave it to Natasha Jonas, but regardless, it was such an excellent fight. It was a fight, to me, that fight there was the female equivalent of Sugar Ray Leonard versus Wilfred Benitez. What was that? Yeah, November 30th, 1979 in Las Vegas. That was very reminiscent because both women just stood there, throwing shots, catching shots, throwing back shots. It was a wicked fight, right? Real Bulldog says Shields versus Marshall. And we spoke about it yesterday. Shavannah Marshall's a real deal, you know?
The real deal.
She's a real deal.
She can fight. But that is going to be a serious war because you know, Clarissa will just back down in her gumshoe.
Ain't no joke, and she brings the smoke.
Yeah, and she's coming with that Michigan thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you see the documentary on Netflix on Clarissa? I don't know if they're taking it off, but she's got a real story, man. It's a very, very, inspiring where she come from in the Olympics and what have you. I'm sure Lady Shan put up some comments that we didn't even put up, Gal, that she paid for. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we've done all of them. But let's keep it going. I think we've got another 13 minutes or so. We'll hit the 2-hour mark. In terms of fight, Maiva Hamadochi versus Katie Taylor. He said, "Me think Maiva's got the style to smoke Katie." You know what? I know she's a great fighter at Ireland's greatest ever amateur boxer or what have you, but the times I've seen her, I don't know. Maybe I'm just watching the odd occasions. She looks like she gets hit a lot to me. Am I wrong in saying that, Spence?
No, you're right.
She looks like she gets hit a lot, and I don't know. Maybe it's just how women's boxing is set. I know she's got great hand speed, and she's done everything there is to be done. So I'll be able to see some injuries. It's a shame her and Clarissa ain't the same weight because I would like to see that kind of ruckus. That would be a serious fight. So yeah. Anyway, Eddie Hearn's carrying the flag for women's boxing, and I'm sure over the years to come, women's boxing will become more prolific, and we'll see more of it. But yeah, there's some great fights at the moment. Terry Harper against Michaela Meyer is another fight, a women's fight I would like to see. What do you guys think of BJS versus Canelo? I don't think we've actually spoke about that already, but no, I don't think we've elaborated on it. Have we been elaborated on BJ against Canelo, Spence?
We did. We spoke about it.
Okay, yeah. All right. When you get an AJ on the phone, well, it's coming. It's on Gary's vision board. It's gonna happen. Come on. The signature, Rav Great Shot. I don't know what that's about. Imagine Logan knocks out Floyd. Come on now. He is nonsense. Is that fight still going on, Spence? Floyd Mayweather against
I don't know.
Logan Paul.
I don't know. I'm not even that thingy about it either. So
excited, yeah, it's coming. You're just taking a biscuit now. You're taking a biscuit. Marshall. Luis Ortiz. All right. Are they the same weight? Josh Warrington against Mick Collin. Conlan.
Conlan.
Are they the same weight?
No, Conlan's a weight above him.
So
No. They're the same. No. They're the same weight. No, Josh Warren's feather, and so is Mick Conlan.
Okay. I personally think Josh Warren walks through Mick Conlan. I'm just being honest, because Josh Warren ain't no joke. You gotta have something to stop that guy. You know, in terms of the skill, that's why I think he'll come unstuck against guys like Shakur. I just think the boxing IQ of those guys, you know, it ain't no the boy from Sheffield, who some believe beat Josh. What's the guy's name again from Dom's gym? Who fought Josh Warren?
Yeah. Kid Galahad.
Kid Galahad, yeah. That's not the same as Shakur Stevenson. It's just different IQ, and I think Josh struggles a little bit against those kind of boxers. Although he beat up Lee Selby, he beat up Lee Selby
and
Frampton. So yeah, Josh Warren. One thing about Josh, he's coming to bring fire. It'd be very interesting to see how he would deal with someone like a Shakur Stevenson. That's a good fight I would like to see. But in terms of Mick Conlan, and who you trying to ring, Spence? I know you're trying to ring someone.
I'm not trying to ring no one, bro.
Okay. Well, you tired? Your stamina run out. Drink some stamina water.
Nah, mate.
All right, we're gonna go.
I'll go buy some of that water still.
Say again?
I said I've got to go and buy some of that water still.
Yeah. You don't need to buy it. It's free. You're part of the camp. All right, so let's wrap up the show in the next few minutes. Because Spencer's old. And his stamina run out. Hey, Lady Shan, Spencer's stamina run out. Come on, talk about Shan.
Nah, bro, it's the juicing style. You're tired style. That juicing thing makes you tired.
Oh yeah, the juice it does. Especially in the first couple of days
of
a juice diet.
Like yesterday, I just had a grotesque headache, man. All today. Like grotesque headache. But it is what it is, and these are the things that we gotta go do to, you know, to keep in shape and all that, and to keep healthy. Because what people, especially right now, the time of this pandemic, you know what I mean, survival is the new success. I keep on saying it. You know what I mean? And there's a good fight signature saying Dubois versus Babik. I'd like to see that fight still. That'd be entertaining.
That is a fight. That fight would tell me a lot.
Yeah. But you know what? I also want to know, like, what Daniel Dubois got, because he's still a young man. But firstly, he needs to get that eye addressed, right?
Yes.
He needs to get that eye sorted, because that's serious. And in hindsight, when we turn around and say, hey, quit. But in hindsight, was boxing worth losing an eye? Because we spoke to a young man the other day in John Murray, right? And he lost the eye because of boxing. He's blind in one eye. So those things that you got to think and say, boy, you know what? I mean, your health is your wealth. And like I said, survival is a new success. So I'm wishing everyone success. Lady Shan, 199 says, Floyd Stroke De La Hoya Part 2. I'd pay.
That would be a good fight. That'd be a better fight than most of these stupid matches.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, Oscar De La Hoya said that he's looking to make a comeback, yeah? But this is what
you know, he's talking nonsense fighting Golovkin. That's nonsense.
Oh, come on. Golovkin would damage him, bro. Right? But the thing why Oscar De La Hoya was saying that, because I think Golden Boy has got a star in Ryan Garcia, but apart from Ryan Garcia could chip.
Yes.
So De La Hoya is thinking, well, boy, if I made a comeback, I could generate some real dough, some real dough. So therefore, what am I going to go and do? So maybe it was that. Also, there's always back and forth with him and Canelo anyway. So I think that was a thing where he was thinking, rotted, the money I got run out. I'm just like a comeback.
All right, listen, I saw something here. That was one of the comments I saw. So Pacquiao Spence and also Joe Joyce against Michael Hunter. What do you think about Pacquiao Spence first?
Good fight. Really good fight. Two southpaws. Wicked fight.
Do you know something? You know what? I'll be more worried of Pacquiao Spence than Spence Crawford.
So would I.
I'm telling you.
especially when Pacquiao's mom sitting ringside working at Juju.
I'm going like this.
Yeah,
And you know the fingers bent up like that. You know the fingers.
yeah.
Yeah, trust me. Who wins, Prime Canelo or Prime Mayweather? Come on, man, signature. Bruv, Floyd was in his prime when he fought Canelo. Canelo was in his prime, if you ask me.
No,
Because
he wasn't. No.
Listen, it was just the skills. I know what you're gonna say.
Canelo wasn't in his prime. Canelo, I'm gonna ask you on the rules. Canelo wasn't in his prime when he fought.
Okay. Well, obviously. Okay.
Floyd was plateauing at that time when he fought him. Canelo was on the up.
So all right.
For Mayweather, then I'm telling you, it was a better win for Mayweather because Mayweather at that time he would have 4 more fights after that, and he was done. So Mayweather was at the end of his career. Okay,
so what you're telling me is Canelo at 25 could beat Floyd at 25?
No, I didn't say that at all.
Right,
that's the ignorance of people who come from the roads, right? I see
the old boys woken up. The old boys woken up.
That's right. I like an argument. I'm saying that Floyd was at the tail end of his career when he fought Canelo. Canelo was a young youth coming up. But what I'm saying is from Canelo took the L from Floyd, he improved as a fighter. So as far as I'm concerned, a prime Floyd would have beaten a prime Canelo simply because Floyd in his prime, listen, I don't business what anyone says. The Floyd that beat Gatti was most probably one of the best displays of boxing I've ever seen. I don't care that. There we go. Right. So Floyd and Floyd's IQ is far more superior than Canelo's. Canelo's getting some IQ thing right now because, well, Canelo ain't fighting the type of opponents that Floyd's fighting.
No way.
Will Floyd? Nah, brother. No. I'm sorry.
No way. Floyd, you can't beat Floyd in his prime, and you can't beat Floyd in his later career. That's just how it goes. It's just facts. But anyway, I see something from Arms Boxing. Do you think Ryan Garcia recovering from that quick is fishy, especially being with Team Canelo and 2 fighters from that camp already failing the drug test? Now, firstly, who is the other fighter that failed the drug test? Because I didn't know that. I didn't know another fighter failed the drug test. And I mean, listen, it's like you can't, brush everyone with the same. You can't tar everybody with the same brush.
You can't.
You can't do that. I think that's unfair to the guy.
And what I'm saying is like, I got murdered for saying that, and I'm quoting these were my words. I said allegedly.
Yes.
For the drug test, I said allegedly, right?
Yes.
And people ran with it, but they wanted, how it goes. They knew I was a bit too much over. I was a little bit too controversial for them anyway. But they ran with that narrative. But the major, I don't want to get into it, but we're off the finger, we'll get into it. Tunde knows the drill already. But what I'm trying to say is this: I ain't no weak brother, and that's that. So
wait. Hey, fight fans.
Yeah, I said it to big up my sister Michelle Joy Phelps. We might have to get her on the line, We might have to get Michelle on the line.
Michelle gets embarrassed sometimes. Hey, fight fans.
Michelle has to jump on the line.
Behind the gloves.
Yeah, Michelle has to jump on the team. Now we have to put
behind the gloves. Anyway, Bruce Ennis against Virgil Ortiz is a good shout. I would like to see that fight, but they wouldn't put both of them in. They're just too young.
Too young. Too much money for them to
early. But yeah, it would be a fight that we absolutely would like to see in the year 2021. Whether it happens or not, doubt it. Janaya Thomas says, big up to the brothers. Still, come on, the set. Ladies shall lions in the camp. There's a lioness in the camp, as she says. Guys, what's your opinion on Eubank Jr.'s career? He is now 31. And Joe, we actually touched on this. Time's moving and he ain't fighting. He was there training with Roy Jones, but I think Roy Jones just used him for the Tyson fight. Bruv, Roy smart, you know. Roy just drained out his power for the Tyson fight. And bruv, now Eubanks is like, you know what? I'm going back home to Brighton and sign with sign with Sounders and let my career go. But you're right. He's 31 years old now, and which is not old. He hasn't taken no damage in boxing as far as I'm concerned. He had that fight, the Eubanks, the George Goals fight when he was bleeding in that fight, right, Spence? I think.
Yeah, cutting that fight.
Yeah, he was cutting that fight. But from what I can see, he's fresh, he's coherent, very intelligent young man. And he hasn't got that much miles on the clock. So he just needs to get it moving. Hopefully, this signing with Southerlands, he can get his career going.
Yep. What's this? What's that? K Torres. You say Canelo is pound for pound, but I've also heard you say he's a jug cheat and should be banned for life. Canelo's a great fighter, but pound for pound because he's a cheat.
Was that proved?
Well, they found something and he was banned for 6 months. Too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, but they said he said he yammed some.
I don't really talk. If when you've got Canelo's money and one in 3 Mexicans watch you when you fight. Mexico has a population of 130 million people. 1 in 3 Mexicans watch you fight. If 1 in 3 of Mexicans watch you fight, you can import meat from anywhere around the world. Period. Right? There's something's dodgy there. Right? But I'm still saying he's pound for pound number 1 in the world. Because he's
it's one of those ones. It's subjective because listen, he said he bought it, he ate some dodgy meat. It wasn't the only dodgy meat in the country.
This thing Top Rank's bankrupt. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that. Bobby Ogosiso says Top Rank is now bankrupt. Where did you get? Can I have the source of that, please, Bobby? Because that's kind of a serious statement. We need the source to validate what you're saying, Bobby. Was there VAR testing in the Smith fight? That's very interesting. I'm sure there was. Michelle says, hi guys. My service is terrible, so I'm trying to get Wi-Fi. Don't worry, Mish. Keep doing what you're doing.
Listen,
be good to get you on. It could be a good way to finish the show if we can get you online. If not, it's all love. Rachel Chigozi says Ortiz versus Povetkin. Battle of the old heads. It might be battle of the drug cheats as well, because Povetkin has had problems with drugs in the past, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Spence?
Povetkin, yes, he has.
Yes. And was there testing for him against Dylan?
They should have tested him.
You know that. But I've seen Dylan. Dylan is looking in shape. Dylan ain't coming to play no games in this rematch. And I hope
he's in proper shape. He's in proper
shape. Dylan's our guy.
Oh, sorry. Hey, what? Michelle Joy Phelps is calling. Here we go.
Again, the Black Book.
Hey, fight fans.
Wi-Fi was like cutting in and out.
Okay. How you doing, sis?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed, highly favored, even better for speaking to you. What me and Baba Tunde Ajayi want to know is your top 3 fights that you want to see happen in 2021.
Ooh, okay. I already have one at the top of my head, obviously being Joshua and Fury. That's a given. If we don't see that, I'm pissed.
Covered.
Another one I would love to see is I was actually just did an interview with Demetrius Andre yesterday. And
yeah, I saw it.
I'd really love to see the fight between him and Billy Joe.
Okay.
I know that it looks likely Billy Joe's going to get Canelo in May, which is why he wants to fight around February time. But to be honest with you guys, I don't think that it's going to happen between him and Andre because it's January. They're looking to fight in February. It's quite frankly, there's just not enough time for that sort of fight.
Yep,
so
yep.
I don't see it happening. Third fight, good question. Third fight, jeez. Give me a second. I'm actually out of coffee shop right now. But those two at the top of my head would be fights I would love to see, before the summertime, ideally.
Okay, what about anyone involving Ryan Garcia? Because I remember from ages ago you were talking about Ryan Garcia. Ages ago, the one that brought Ryan Garcia to my attention, and I'm talking a few years back now, was actually Michelle Joy Phelps when Ryan was looking to turn pro.
Yes. Yeah, I actually remember Michelle talking about it, that he should have been on one of those YouTube cards. I remember her saying that.
Yeah.
But Ryan is really, he can pick who he wants right now. But out of the three lightweights in Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and who's the other one? Tank. Which one of those fights would you like to see Ryan in the most?
I'm probably gonna have to roll with Teofimo, and I don't know. We're probably gonna get the Devin Haney fight first, just because of what Mauricio Sullivan was saying. He was saying that that's the fight order next. So I'm not really too sure if we're gonna get the fight between him and Teofimo or Tank next. I can actually see being the fight between him and Tank being hard to make because of the whole network issue. You know how that goes.
Yep.
I mean, let's not we can sit here and make dream matchups all we want, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. The network will always be the one. The network, the difference in networks will always be the Achilles tendon.
Yep, 100%. I totally agree with you, sis. Anyway, Michelle Joy Phelps, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure to talk to our sister from another mister. We've gone over the 2-hour mark. So, and their phones.
Oh, my man said you mash it. Yeah. Almo Boxing said, fam, she's mashing up my super chats. But don't worry, brother. We got you. Alms Knows Boxing says Ryan Garcia was doing Amir Khan dances when he was getting touched before he met Eddie Reneso. And the other fighter was Julio Cesar Martinez. Okay. Interesting. So basically what you're saying is that there's some dodgy meat going on in that camp there. But I'm one of those guys who believe that, stories can give you, it can make you fight longer, but they can't give you skills. Do they make you punch harder? I don't know. I really don't know, but cheating is cheating. Cheating is cheating, and we don't want cheating right now.
Exactly.
Was there any more super chats? I see Lady Shan saying, I paid for longer. What paid for longer for what? $2.99 can't get you much these days, love.
Lady Shan's gonna like up some stripper about.
You know when you go to the strip club, you want more. Yeah, Shan, man, stop doing it, man. You making us go off track. But anyway, we gotta thank Michelle Joy Phelps. We gotta thank Kuban Cassius. And we got to thank the one and only Vas Blackwood for joining us. There were so many comments. What's my man saying again? It makes you recover in 1 second, like he did. Okay, I hear that. That's a good point because, I was just about to wrap up the show, but Alms Knows Boxing has made a good point because
big up Alms as well for all the donations that you put out today.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. And you know why I have to tend to agree with him? Because that big buffer man that was fighting AJ and he got caught with the drugs. What's his name? He got caught about 7 times or 5 times.
Jamel Miller.
Gerald Miller.
Yeah.
people said that when they watch him fight, because they, I remember it was a brother from, I was on Lady Shan's live, and he's an American guy, Caden. Caden was saying that he used to play American football, and he knows how these big guys, they will run up the line, they'll get tired.
One of them man on EPOs.
But this guy, he said, when he saw Big Baby Miller, he said, nah, something's not right. Because this guy's not getting tired. He's just punching. The guy's just punching up to 15 rounds and they ain't getting tired. So how can a guy that big punch for that long? So you're right. Drugs obviously does have an effect. Ram86 says, big up Cougar, Michelle Vass, and look at that. I almost forgot that. Thank you for that. And Devin's showing a great show. These shows keep getting better and better. Big up, lads. Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajayi. So, yeah, let me end by saying you're rude, Tunde. No, I'm just Tunde. That's all. But, yeah, let me say it has been a great show. We've gone over the Mark Spencer, but we have to really tip our hats to Vass Blackwood, Mickey Bay, the trainer of Devin Haney, Kugan Cassius, the Don Gargan of IFL TV, and the beautiful, the one, the only, Michelle Joy Phelps. And I want to thank high five fans. And I want to thank everyone that's joined us tonight. We hope to be back again on Wednesday with another topic that we'll put out to the audience and to you guys. It's been wonderful. And I end by saying, dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. Come on down,
sir. Thank you, everybody. Enough love. Appreciate it. I hope we didn't offend anyone. We're just joking. We're just bantering. So any lawsuits, send them to Spencer Fearon's house. Okay, he's the rich one with his little, with his domino hat. Bro, he starts with, bro, maybe bookie shop, man. Maybe you need to have that fight, because, bro, maybe you need to spar again. Because remember we sparred years ago and I broke you up.
Tunde likes to talk nonsense, Let me tell you this now. I want people to realize this, yeah? The beating that I gave Tunde, Tunde's a bank carrier, all right? The beating that I gave him, then I was talking to the though. Then about 6 months later, I bought Tunde. I told Tunde to join the Lane Amateur Club. He joined the Lane Amateur Club, right? And then he goes, I said, yeah, I'll come on, I'll spar with you. Like he phoned me, yeah, you want to move around? I'll spar with you. I go down. Before the spar, I was a gallus. That day, I have to talk lower now. I grabbed 2 girls.
Why the wife's there? The wife's there.
Yeah. I got 2 girls that day because that was me. That was my thing. I'm saying that as just Tunde. Listen, the way Tunde come out like it was Mike Tyson. Remember Paul, the trainer on the lid?
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul's dead.
Don't muck around.
I think he died. Yeah, Paul. He used to train Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died.
When?
I think it was last year, 2020. I think he died of cancer or something like that. Very sad. He was such a nice guy, and he loved boxing. But yeah, I think he died of cancer. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, it's touching.
That's mashed me up now. Seriously, that's mashed me up. You know what?
No, I mashed you up.
No. But anyway, don't
try to change the subject.
Listen to me. After the spar, like Paul said, "Oh, nice one, Spence, for taking it easy on Tunde." I said, "You idiot, Tunde." I said, "Yeah, don't worry about it." But Tunde knows I dropped him with a body shot.
You fool! You fool!
With a body shot, and then,
you drop your shopping bags. You never drop.
I dropped you with a body shot, Tunde. And then you over.
Tunde,
of course, I'm not allowed you. I hit Tunde. See, people remember what they want to remember, but I know. You know what I mean?
That's what you should be drinking.
And I'm glad that you've forgotten. I'm glad because right now you're my brother.
This is for the
I might have to make a comeback for Tunde Ajayi.
Spencer. This is for the Brockback man them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been absolute pleasure. You know, listen, fights of 2021, Spencer Fearon against Tunde Ajayi. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate it, and we hope we've alleviated some of the pressure that is really has consumed all of us. The whole of 2020, and now 21 and the beginning of 21. So, on that note, I'm gonna say it again. Dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. Thank you so much for joining the show. Join us again on Wednesday evening. We'll have other topics to go and discuss. Well, thank you for joining.
Yes, sir. Boom.